Hi everybody, Mother Trucker here. Again with the waking up stuff. I wanted to address a question I had a while back, and I wanted to be able to sit down and kind of take a look at things. The question was about how much I make, and while most people would consider that rude, I think that it's a good question because if somebody's thinking about going into trucking, they need to know what it's going to be like. So I'm going to start from the beginning and kind of tell you how things have gone. When I went into truck driving school back in March, you don't pay for school, but you don't get paid for going either. So it was supposed to be 3 weeks. And, of course, because I have a problem with my backing, I still do, I wound up being in school for 6 weeks with no income. So, that was rough. I had set aside a little bit of money in my savings, and I worked out things, with my roommate, so I was able to survive. Plus, I took advantage of some of those nasty loans that I had from when my transmission broke down in my car. So I start at total in debt. I've been in debt all my life, though, so it's nothing new. Total, they gave me money for a bus ticket, which I did not take a bus, I drove. And I can't remember exactly how much that was. It was way more than it cost me. I was a little surprised. But, I don't know. I think it was like $180 for a bus ticket. Then the days that I was actually in training, the orientation, I just remembered, there was just like a flat rate of that for that, and it was like I want to say $320, and that was for 4 days of orientation. And then from there, I went onto a truck, and once you get on the truck, you get, as a trainee, you get paid $90 a day. It's just a flat rate. So now you're considered working 7 days a week. So, each paycheck was 7 days times 90. What is that? $630. And then after taxes, I think I was bringing home a little over $500 a week. That was as a trainee. Then when you get out on the road, what I'm making, every company is different, but what I make is per mile. I get paid 38 cents a mile right now, and that's because I'm a newbie. Like, you can get way higher rates per mile, but once you have the experience. So 38 cents a mile. They figure that you could do between 2,500 and 3,000 miles per week, which in most cases I am. Every once in a while, when there's problems with the truck or home time or whatnot, I'm not getting that and my paycheck's not. But if you can do the math, 2,500, that's the minimum, times 38 cents a mile, that's an $800 paycheck. Now, that's before taxes. And then plus I have, every paycheck they take $50 out to pay for my school. And if you take an advance, which you can take an advance if you're on the road and you need money because you don't have any, you can get an advance and they put it directly on your card. But when you take that advance, they take it out of your very next paycheck. So, and the advance amount is based on the miles where you are in your particular trip. So if you have a 300-mile trip and you've gone 10 miles, you're probably not even eligible for an advance. You have the more miles you've gone, the higher your advance. I got one the other day that was $70. I had it eligible 74, but that trip was like 700 or 800 miles, and I was like there. I had arrived at the receiver, but I hadn't finished my trip yet, and it was kind of a slim week last week because I had home time, and I'd had some weight tickets that I have to pay for, and I'll get to the scale stuff in another video, Amy. But so anyways, I haven't gotten to a stable, but I can give you an example. My last paycheck was actually, when I brought home, was $800 and something, but that was, I got a mileage bonus for June. If you get so many miles per month and they give you a bonus, I was under the impression that if you went incident free, like you didn't have any accidents or incidents that were your fault, that you would get a safety bonus every month. But I didn't drive by myself the whole month of June. I only started mid-June, so I may have to wait till July, but I need to ask about that. Anyways, the mileage bonus was $518 and some change. So I got that on top of my like $300 for my mileage. So I had another $800 paycheck. But I started a new thing recently, which kind of throws a wrench in it. They have a thing called per diem, and basically, to kind of back up just a minute, as a trucker, all my expenses on the road can be considered tax deductible. So all my food, any lodging, any showers, anything like that can be considered tax deductible. So the government allows trucking companies to pay truckers on a per diem basis if they so choose, which means out of basically $59 a day you can receive tax-free. Sorry, I'm sort of watching trucks go by also. So the benefit to this is that it reduces your tax liability, and it means that you probably take home a little more. And I took one of my recent trips that I got paid for and took a look at it. The total on it, and I'll tell you, you won't be able to read this because it's backwards, but the total miles was 462 miles. Now, under regular pay structure, at 38 cents a mile, that would have been $175.56 before taxes. Now, just to make it easy, I just said 20% tax would be $35.11. So if you take $175.56 and subtract $35.11, the take home would have been approximately $140.45 for that one trip. That's just one trip. That's 462 miles. That's pretty much a day, right there, of driving. Now on the per diem, it gets real tricky because there's two different rates. Out of the four, there's a per diem rate per mile, which is 0.14750, and then there's a taxable rate per mile. So what they do is they take the 462 miles and they multiply it times the per diem rate of 0.14750 to to get $68.15. And so out of the money that I'm going to be getting for this, $68.15 I got, and that was tax free. Now the taxable amount was $91.43. So again, I figured a 20% tax, which was $18.29, and I took the $91.43, subtracted $18.29, and I got $73.14. Now, if you add the $73.14 to the $68.15 that I got tax free, my take home on this was $141.29. Take home with the regular was $140.45. Now that's just a bit, that honestly, that's very rough, because the tax on the per diem, my tax rate is probably going to go down. It probably wouldn't be the same 20%. So I still would take home more. So I'm doing the per diem, and that makes it a little complicated, but I'm pretty sure I'm getting more. I don't think I've had $1,000 paycheck yet, but I'm really kind of working my way up to stuff. You know, there's been issues with trips and the truck, and this last load, it was a crap. I mean, I'm still on the load actually, and I'm just kind of killing time because I can't get there today. I only have 4 hours on my clock, and I have to wait until midnight when I get more hours back. But on a good regular, I mean, my bad paychecks have been around $500 a week, $400, $500 a week, which you can still live off of. It's just not, you know, it doesn't have the high expectations, and I haven't had a lot of those. Most of my, I don't know, it's right now I'm at about half and half. I've been bringing home between either $400 or $800 some dollars. The $800 ones make up for it, that's for sure. But I'm trying to get to a spot, you know, where I can run 3,000 miles a week, and I can, you know, I can have a $1,000 paycheck. I'm assuming that's probably before taxes, but still. That's 13 minutes, so I'm going to stop there. And I'll address some other questions in other videos. I love all of y'all. Mother Trucker out.